Hello everyone, this is my first music video theory analysis, and I'll be talking about all the connections I've found so far in the TXT universe. There is a lot of information, so hopefully I can explain this well enough to make things clear to understand, so let's get started. The Dream Chapter Start tells the exciting story of how the different but same 5 boys met each other, and like how Subin introduced the album this time, the Dream Chapter Magic continues the story with the 5 boys' magical adventures. The ending part of Crown, Your Existence Changed My World Like Magic, the mentioning of magic from their first mini album got extended into their first full-length album. Keep in mind that the TU stories are divided by chapters. So far, we only got 2 albums, but it follows a pattern of the album name includes a keyword which is also in a song name within that album. In the Dream Chapter Star, we had Nap of a Star, and in the Dream Chapter Magic, we got Magic Island. Now I know the title tracks aren't exactly included in the TU, but they do serve as an introduction to the story. Yeonjun's part in Crown, Save me, maybe I have turned into a monster, and why does the world treat me like this, got a horn on me all of a sudden. The reason why the title tracks are the introduction is because when you look at the title tracks, they mention about things that are directly related to what happened in the songs like Nap of a Star, which tells the more completed story. Back when the music video of Nap of a Star was released, I didn't do a theory, but I organized the animal and item symbolism from the music video. So starting with Yeonjun, our main character in TU, with the questioning Phil Moore's code of promise. He's the boy with horn, so the animal symbol for him is deer, and his item symbol is the horn or antler. Deer is an animal which symbolizes power, independent, but also sensitive, intuitive, and fearsome. It's gentle and kind to others but expects the same in return. Think about what type of person needs promise. People make promises to regulate behavior so things don't go beyond our control and expectation, which makes the future seem less uncertain. And why do we need that? It's because we have fears. A promise might sound nice and hopeful, but it shows our weakness. This is why we see many scenes of Yeonjun looking scared in Nap of a Star. The horn, or in this case the deer's antler, it grows beyond the body towards the sky. It can also fall off and grow back, symbolizing regeneration. Now up to here, I want you to remember their symbolism because at the end you'll see a common theme. So going by the order of appearance in the music video, we have Subin next. His Morse code is tomorrow and his animal symbol is rabbit with the pointy ears. Rabbit symbolizes long life, growth, sensitive to environment but also shy and modest. It can sense when spring is coming, and spring usually represents a new beginning. His items in the music video are broken umbrella and old-style mega or telephone. Umbrella represents protection as well as the power we hold within ourselves. And the umbrella here is broken because the people that he needs to protect are not here with him. The old-style mega or telephone shows that he listens to his surrounding and the people around him, and both of these 2 traits are important to have as a leader. And then we have Taehyun, who's got the star eye. I've seen some people saying Taehyun is the odd eye cat or the final boss, but I think that's not exactly true. His questioning Phil Moore's code is clue. His animal symbol is the owl, which symbolizes wisdom with the ability to see in the dark or what the others don't see. Now this might not be related, but in the Roman beliefs, a person will reveal all their secrets if an owl feather was placed by their pillow. An owl is also seen as the harbinger of death, represents life's transition. His item symbol is the monocular or telescope. It represents a prophetic vision, a focus on small details. And this makes sense when you connect to his role in the Runaway music video, which is interesting because in the Runaway music video, Taehyun seems to be a bit different and more aware than the other members. For example, him reading a book specifically on how to put out a fire, or how he was the one who stayed behind when the other members left the burning door. He noticed things that the others don't necessarily pay attention to. That's why he has the star eye, because he has a different type of focus. For Bongyu, whose Morse code is hope, his animal symbol is hedgehog with the thorns on his shoulder. Hedgehog symbolizes gentleness, positive energy, and also resurrection and protection. I wasn't able to find a lot for Bongyu, but I think what's been said so far really fit the corresponding member's personality well. And lastly, Huninkai. His Morse code is secret and his animal symbol is swan with the wings. Swan is seen as a creature of light, love, and union. White swan specifically symbolizes purity, hope, promise, and new beginning. Interestingly, that includes a few of the keywords from the previous members. With Yeonjun being the boy with horn, Huening-kai is supposed to be the boy with wings from the animated video shown prior to their crown debut stage. And speaking of swan, it reminds me of the story of the ugly duckling. Because the swan went through a similar process and pain, that's why he understands the boy with horn. Remember how I asked you to pay attention to their symbolisms? They all have a common theme of change, a new beginning. That's what each of them is longing for. And for their group name being Tomorrowbaitugeher, with the meaning of the 5 of them who came together under one dream to build a new tomorrow. The one dream of theirs is the new beginning they're looking for, which is what a tomorrow is. The Nap of a Star music video concludes with the 5 of them finding each other and reunited after being separated, but the story doesn't end there. Even though the Runaway music video came out first, I'll follow the timeline and explain Magic Island since that's the event happened prior to Runaway. The Magic Island music video began with the members being on a subway train, and I find it interesting how the members didn't stay together in a group as if they don't know each other, but they were messaging in a group chat. Now let's take a look at the messages in their group chat. Yeonjun asked if the others heard of the practice room ghost. Taehyun being logical and said there's no such thing as ghosts, and those who saw the ghost were probably just tired and didn't see properly. That's when Subin mentioned about him having weird dreams, thinking maybe it's because he's tired. He typed, "In the dream, we," but he erased it and didn't send. Then later Yeonjun asked, "Should we just get off in Tuksum?" The stop they were at was Cheontam, and Tuksum is the next stop. I was curious, so I looked up the Seoul subway map, and in between those 2 stops, they must cross Hangang, which is the Han River. And sure enough, river was mentioned in the lyrics of Magic Island. If you look at this part, there are 20 dots in between the 2 stops. We know that 9 3/4 is the platform, so let's do some simple math here. 9 3/4, which is 9.75, assuming it's out of 10. If you take the proportion, it will be 19.5 if it's out of 20. And as the dot approaching closer and closer to the next stop, the next thing we saw was the train with only 5 of them. This means they must reach the 9 3/4 platform, traveled into a new space, and is on their way to Magic Island because the dot never actually reached the last stop, which is the Tuksum stop, their original destination. After they got to Magic Island, there were 2 times where Subin looked at his phone before it ran out of battery. The first time being him checking on phone coverage, and it showed there's no internet connection. Normally, only places with no one there will have no phone signal, unless they're in a different space or dimension where phone isn't a thing. And the second time was the home screen showing the time and date. It was October 27th on a Friday. I searched up the calendar, and the only recent year with October 27th falling on a Friday was 2017. And as we all know, even though TXT only debuted early this year, but the group was already formed back in 2017. The lyrics from the chorus, "This place here is our start line. The start line we watched together that night. Must not forget that night. Must not forget this place." This is referring to Nap of a Star. This place is Magic Island, and this is where they grew up and met each other from. The starlight they watched together that night was the night that they were reunited, which was when the mechanical stars started shining again. So of course, with the significance, they shouldn't be forgetting this place and things happened there. And the setting also proves that this is the same place in Nap of a Star, with the red and blue trees and the big telescope. But it's been years since then, so the place is covered with wild plants. The odd-eyed cat is a big component in the TU story. It appeared in the Nap of a Star music video. It was one of Huening-kai's hashtag in the Magic Island music video teaser, and it was also mentioned in the lyrics. The reason why odd-eyed cats have odd eyes is because they have a condition called heterochromia, which is the different coloration of iris from genetic variation. There are 3 types, and the one we've seen in the music video has the complete heterochromia, which is having one blue eye and a different color for the other, and in this case it was green. And having odd eye can alter vision as well as hearing. This reminds me, in Chinese folk legend, there's something called yin-yang eye, which basically means ghost eye, as in having the ability to see ghosts or other things that people don't normally see. Remember the lyrics in the English version of Cat and Dog was "turn me from a cat into a dog," and that's enough evidence to point out that they're cats and they themselves are the odd-eyed cat. And don't forget, Slow Rabbit PD have mentioned it before that Cat and Dog is a sad song. So I think the odd-eyed cat here represents a hidden side of them, a side that they have but don't want to deal with or admit for having. Or you can call it the darker side of them. It's what's hurting them, making them feel fear, become paranoid, and experience frustration and chaos. Because sometimes what damages us the most doesn't come from the outside but from what's within. Reason why sometimes people say you are your own worst enemy. The other hashtags including Huening-Kai's "My chest feels suffocated", Bonggyu's "Can't believe anyone", Yeonjun's "It's because of me", Subin's "I think it's only me that's different", and Taehyun's "Let's think this through". These all came from their feelings within themselves. The negative thoughts form the monster. It's like a dark cloud that they can't get rid of. It follows them and haunts them. That's why the 5 of them kept looking for a new beginning. For Nap of a Star, I did the animal symbol, and in Magic Island music video we have a new one. It's the dragonfly that Huening-Kai caught. Dragonfly symbolizes change, transformation, and self-realization that refer to mental and an emotional level. It goes deeper and beyond the surface. It's also associated with discovering the ability within ourselves. The scene where they took off their uniform shows that they're throwing away their identity in the reality because they're now back to the place where they started and this is who they are. So something is definitely happening, and for them to reach back to Magic Island, it wasn't just a coincidence. It's a kitty incident because they're forced to face the odd-eyed cat. I think in the time frame between the 2 TU music video, they left the Magic Island after Nap of a Star and went to the reality world. Subin's part in Runaway: when we go past this tunnel, when we open our eyes, our dreams will become reality. This is referring to them going from the reality world to Magic Island. And Bonggyu's part in Magic Island, where all the dreams also become memories. This is referring to them getting back to Magic Island. So it seems like there's a confusion between dream, memory, and reality, but think about it this way. When they left Magic Island, a part of them got hidden from them and their memories from before became blurry. They kept reminding themselves that there's something they cannot forget and must remember, but they don't know what that is. When Subin mentioned about him having weird dreams, those aren't just dreams. They were his memories slowly coming back to him, but since he doesn't remember those memories, they feel like a dream to him. The different body parts that the member placed their hand over, Subin's ear, Yeonjun's neck, Bonggyu's shoulder, Taehyun's eye, and Huening-Kai's heart, those are related to what's hidden from them, and recalling from Nap of a Star, those were causing pain to them. The scene of them in the fog represents the growing pain and the awakening of what's hidden from them. But at some point they learned how to cope with the monster. The song "Can We Just Leave the Monster Alive", even though TXT explained it as not wanting to kill the monster, aka the final boss, at the last stage in order to stay longer in the game, I think they've came to a realization that the monster is a part of themselves and they cannot actually kill the monster. This whole thing is like a process, the process of finding and accepting yourself. But on the timeline, Runaway is what happened after Magic Island, so after the awakening of their inner self, they went back into reality. Remember what Section 4 was in Magic Island music video? It was Price of Promise, and guess whose Morse code was promised? It was Yeonjun's. Section 5 was Name of Eternity. A definition of eternity is the endless life after death, so in another word, the name of eternity could be death. To sum this up, a price must be paid in order to keep the promise, which is what Yeonjun is, and the price is death. At the end of the Magic Island music video, there was the scene of the members lying on the ground. Taehyun, Subin, and Huening-Kai were on the track. Yeonjun and Bongyu were off and on opposite side of the track. Now this will make sense if I explain the Runaway music video. Unlike Crown and Nap of a Star, Runaway was set in present day at a school. The Nap of a Star music video showed us where the 5 boys grew up. The Magic Island music video told us what happened, which led us to Runaway. I made a thread of Runaway music video theory on Twitter when it first came out, but I'll modify it here since we had some new information coming from Magic Island. I still think the Runaway music video is a time travel story of a group of friends using magic to travel back in time to save their friend, but the reason is more clear now. At the very beginning of the music video, we have Bongyu, Hyuninkai, and Subin drawing throughout the school. Then later we got a closer look of what they were drawing in Subin's scene. The whiteboard has drawing of fire, as well as star and blue tree just like the one from Magic Island. We found out that with the pair of glasses which Subin found from the first Runaway music video teaser, we're able to see a magic circle forming. Now a magic circle is what's used to practice magic. It contains energy and also opens up a portal to provide space. In the music video, we can see that the members have done this a few times with the multiple magic circles showing throughout the school. And the reason why the 3 members were drawing was because they need new media to open up new portal. I won't go into details of what's going on with Yeonjun, like why he's cutting the notebook with an art knife or how he's got that cut on his hand, but there are 2 things to pay attention to. The healed burn scar on his right hand, which proves the timeline of Magic Island story happening prior to Runaway, and the doll which Yeonjun always carry around with. Within the group of 5, it seems like Yeonjun and Bongyu were the closest, and this is showing the scene where Bongyu was the one putting on band-aid for Yeonjun, and then falling asleep leaning onto each other in the library, as well as when Yeonjun ignited the notebook, Bongyu rushed into the classroom with fire extinguisher. Going back to Magic Island, Yeonjun was the one who made the bonfire with the match he stole on the subway, and Bongyu was the one who brought the sparklers. Remember what happened at the end in Magic Island? They burned the whole forest, and they were lying on the opposite side of the track. So maybe it's because of guilt, Bongyu was doing different things in Runaway for Yeonjun since he probably thought he caused all that to happen to him. I like how there was a close-up shot of each member because you can tell Bongyu looked way more nervous than the others. I don't think they can die on Magic Island, so they were sent back to the reality world in order for Yeonjun to pay the price of promise. But why is Yeonjun the chosen one? Now I have to talk about the symbolism of another creature here. Dragon was shown at the end of the Magic Island music video, and it was a Western dragon, not an Asian dragon because they have different meanings. The dragon we've seen is a symbol for evil and sin. Going back to when they were on the subway train, Yeonjun stole the match from someone else's cake. It doesn't matter why or what made him to do that, but stealing is wrong. And because what he stole was match, this could be the reason why he has to die in the fire. Of course, the other 4 wouldn't want to just let Yeonjun die, so they time traveled multiple times hoping to find a way to keep Yeonjun alive. Water element was used very heavily in the music video. They danced with the sprinkler on, splashed water everywhere, and even went to the swimming pool. Now if you look at the lyrics, it also gives us hints. When the night is nearly ending, rewind the clock, rewind now. The forbidden game and this magic hour, the blue flame flares up. The sky-colored magic circle will color the classroom so the summoning spell brings us together. If they can be successful with their plan, they can all be together again. But it took them so many tries and still haven't succeeded. That's because the magic circle can only open up portals that serve as sanctuary. It can't keep Yeonjun to live through what happened in reality. What they need is an Arcadia. That's when the door at the bottom of the pool started glowing. Notice how it doesn't have any magic circle around it, meaning it's not the same as the other portals they've used. In the new setting, they encountered the giant door. That's the door which leads back into reality. When Yeonjun puts on his glasses, the door started burning, and there are 2 reasons behind this. First, they see Yeonjun's destiny. It's the reality they cannot change no matter where they go or what they do. And second, the door going back into reality is burning, which means this will cut clean all their connections with the reality world and they'll have no way to go back. But fortunately, this is what they wanted in order to keep Yeonjun alive. At the end, Yeonjun removed the band-aid and the cut on his hand disappeared, and the doll from the beginning, notice how it's changed and burned. That's because the doll which he always carries around with represents him in the reality. The disappearing cut on his hand and the doll falling off him prove that his connection with the reality is gone. The cut he got in the reality was left there, and the doll representing him unattached him because he is not a part of that reality anymore, but the doll is burnt, relating to his unchangeable fate. I guess we'll find out where they're going in the next TU music video. And these are all the connections I've found so far. I hope they were less confusing and made sense. Please share what you think with me in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time.